Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is Professor Anime, and welcome back to yet again another Boruto Naruto Next Generations episode review. This is going to be on episode 32, I believe, of the Boruto series. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Alright, so this episode is titled The Quest for Souvenirs, and honestly, this was a very simplistic episode. I mean, this was to be expected, though. However, just judging from the arc that we just now finished in the Hidden Mist Village with Boruto and the gang, this episode was basically the ending. You know, everyone is getting, you know, back onto the ship, going back to the land of the Hidden Leaf Village. You know, so this was basically like the closure episode to the arc that we just finished. So it's no surprise that in this episode it was just to basically break away from all the tension and chaos that was ensuing in, you know, the last few episodes of Boruto. So yeah, when it comes down to this episode, it was really just a closure to the arc that we just finished. It gave us a breather, and we're going back in turn to the whole slice of life, nature-esque, you know, sort of vibe that the series of Boruto has been providing. You know, we're breaking away from the arc that we just now finished with all, you know, the chaos and whatnot. Now we're switching gears and going back to the way things were, as, you know, the group is now heading back to the land of the Leaf Village. But the thing is, while this episode I did, you know, enjoy, I mean, it was a very simplistic episode as far as to what it provided, and we'll get to that in a bit. But the thing that I was personally disappointed by when it came down to this episode is that it did not lead up to, you know, another threat or build up to what we can expect later, you know, in the next coming episodes of Boruto, really. And honestly, as a watcher of the series, I want to see, you know, what's going to happen next in the Boruto series. Are we going to, you know, in turn get another slice of life-esque episode, or are we in turn going to get something that is going to be actually quite interesting that we could possibly see, you know, later down the line in the Boruto series? Really, this episode just kind of didn't really provide necessarily, you know, an ending that we could expect. I mean, I know that's what previews are for, but the thing is that I really wish there was something at the end of this episode that would have led up to what we could possibly expect, you know, in the next coming episodes of Boruto, you know, and who the next main villain could possibly be, you know. Sure, it is the end of the arc, but still, there has to be something there that is going to provide the watcher to, you know, be engaged, so to speak, for the next coming episodes to come, if you are wanting to keep your viewers interested in the series. But yeah, with this episode of Boruto, this was a closure episode, giving closure to the characters as well as the arc, and we have it to where the people who were responsible for, you know, the coup d'etat, like Shizuma and the gang, they are locked away in a soundproof room, you know, can't really have any human interaction besides, you know, who they are locked away with. You know, it has very tight security, and they are currently going under investigation, you know, regarding the officials of the Hidden Mist Village. Now, Kagura, on the other hand, he did in fact play a part in the coup, but the thing is that he wasn't entirely responsible for, you know, the coup d'etat against, you know, the Hidden Mist Village, but he was still responsible to a certain extent, to where, you know, he ended up joining and going with Shizuma's plans of action. So he is not really going to receive the most of the punishment that is to be received by the ones who, you know, were, you know, involved in this coup d'etat. You know, Shizuma and the gang, you know, they are going to get the worst of the punishment, while Kagura, on the other hand, you know, is going to get the minimal of the punishment, which makes sense. I stated this before in my previous review as to why that is. And, you know, basically Kagura finally understands this, and he's working, you know, he's going to be working on to make himself a better individual, and in a way he says, like, he wants to be like Boruto as well, you know, in his letter that, you know, he gave off to Boruto before he left. And I'm just like, I don't know if you want to be too much like Boruto, to be completely honest with you. You stay you, Kagura. Just learn to think a little bit. But yeah, the rest of this episode was pretty much just Boruto trying to find, you know, something from the hidden Mist Village that he can bring back to Himawari, because before this whole arc started, you know, he did state to Himawari that he promised her that he would, you know, bring back a souvenir for her. And throughout the entirety of the episode, I mean, the episode's main focal point was just Boruto trying to find candy for his little sister, and not just any candy, candy from the hidden Mist Village, you know, something foreign that she isn't that aware of, you know. And by the end of the episode, he does eventually get it, you know, for Himawari, and everything is happily ever after, so to speak. So, I mean, regarding, you know, this whole episode of Boruto, it was a very simplistic episode. It was just meh. I mean, it was alright for a closure episode, but nothing really brought anything interesting to the table regarding this episode. And I really wish, again, that we would have had a build-up to something else that would eventually lead up to what we can expect later down the line of Boruto. But that was really about it. So, regarding this episode of Boruto, it was enjoyable, but nothing special. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, what you guys thought about this episode of Boruto in the comments down below. And be sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and hit that red subscribe button if you want to see more. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.